Every single day, over 500 million people living with diabetes or prediabetes face the exact same dilemma. They walk down the frozen dessert aisle. They see that colorful carton. They crave it. But they have been told over and over again that ice cream is poison. So they put it back, feeling deprived and frustrated. Or worse, they buy the sugar-free or low-fat version, assuming it is a safer choice. That assumption is costing them their health. Here's a number I want you to remember: 1 in 3. That is the proportion of American adults currently living with prediabetes. According to the CDC, most of them do not even know they have it. And for those who do, the decisions made in the frozen food aisle are not just about a few extra calories. They are about preventing nerve damage, preventing kidney failure, preventing vision loss, and yet almost no one is talking about what actually happens inside your bloodstream when you eat these frozen treats. The chemical reaction to sugar and carbohydrates is completely silent. You cannot see it, you cannot feel it immediately, but the glucose spike is happening inside your veins, and over time, those spikes are breaking down your body. My name is Dr. William. I've spent more than 15 years studying metabolic endocrinology, insulin resistance, and the relationship between food processing and glycemic response. Today, I'm going to show you 5 ice creams that are scientifically verified to be safe for blood sugar. And more importantly, I'm going to show you 3 that you are almost certainly buying right now, foods that are probably sitting in your freezer that are causing massive, destructive glucose spikes that last for hours. Stay with me until the end of this video because the number 1 worst ice cream on this list is the one that most health-conscious people believe is the safest option. That belief, however, is dangerously mistaken. Before we discuss the specific brands, I need to give you a brief but essential introduction to blood sugar science. Please do not skip this section. It is the key to understanding why one ice cream can be medicine and another can be pure poison. When you eat sugar or carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas releases insulin to move that glucose into your cells for energy. That is a normal, healthy process. However, there are 3 specific mechanisms that determine how dangerous that process is for a diabetic. First, the glucose spike. Certain sugars like sucrose or corn syrup hit your bloodstream almost instantly. They are like throwing gasoline on a fire. They cause a massive, rapid spike in blood sugar that forces your pancreas to overwork. Second, the insulin overreaction. When your blood sugar spikes too high, your body often overcorrects, dumping huge amounts of insulin into your system. This can cause your blood sugar to crash a few hours later, known as reactive hypoglycemia, which leaves you exhausted, shaky, and craving even more sugar. Third, the fructose conversion. Many ice creams use high fructose corn syrup. Your body cannot use fructose for energy directly. Instead, it is shunted straight to your liver and converted into visceral fat. This is the dangerous fat that wraps around your organs and drives insulin resistance deeper. 3 mechanisms: the spike, the overreaction, the conversion. Keep these 3 terms in mind as we go through each ice cream because you will see one or more of these mechanisms involved in every example we discuss. The 3 worst ice creams to avoid. Let us start with the bad news. These are the ice creams that are actively harming your metabolism. If you have type 2 diabetes, these need to leave your freezer immediately. Worst ice cream number 1, the no sugar added maltitol trap. Here is something that may surprise you. Just because a carton says no sugar added does not mean it has low sugar. Many manufacturers use sugar alcohols like maltitol to replace real sugar. Maltitol is in the same chemical family as sorbitol and xylitol, but here is a problem that almost no one talks about. Maltitol has a glycemic index of 52. For context, table sugar has a glycemic index of 60. You are essentially eating almost the same glucose spike as sugar, but with a terrible digestive side effect. When maltitol enters your digestive tract, it is partially absorbed. The rest ferments in your colon, producing gas and bloating. But the part that is absorbed, it converts to glucose nearly as fast as regular sugar. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that maltitol produces a significant postprandial glucose response, meaning that sugar-free label is a medical illusion. You are paying premium prices for a product that spikes your blood sugar almost as badly as the regular version, while also giving you stomach cramps. What to do instead? Avoid any ice cream that lists maltitol, sorbitol, or isomalt in the first 3 ingredients. These are hidden glucose bombs. Worst ice cream number 2, premium high-sugar dairy. I know, this one hurts. Premium ice cream is delicious because it is loaded with heavy cream and sugar. The fat content is actually a trick on your taste buds. The fat coats your tongue and delays the perception of sweetness, so manufacturers add even more sugar to make it taste sweet enough. Here is the metabolic problem. When you eat this high-fat, high-sugar combination, the fat slows down the absorption of the sugar. You might test your blood sugar 1 hour after eating and think, oh, it is not that bad, but the fat is merely delaying the inevitable. 2 hours, 3 hours, or even 4 hours later, the sugar breaks through the fat barrier and you experience a devastating late-stage glucose spike. This is called the pizza effect, and it is incredibly dangerous because you are not aware it is happening. Furthermore, the massive sugar load forces your pancreas to overproduce insulin. Over years, those repeated insulin surges exhaust your pancreatic beta cells. That is how prediabetes progresses to type 2 diabetes, and how type 2 diabetes progresses to requiring insulin injections. A Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health analysis found that individuals consuming 2 or more servings of high-sugar desserts per week had a statistically significant increase in insulin resistance markers. What to do instead? If you must have real dairy, choose the lowest sugar content per serving, under 10 grams, and eat it immediately after a high-protein meal, never as a snack on an empty stomach. Worst ice cream number 3, healthy, non-dairy oat milk ice cream. Oat milk is trendy. It is plant-based. It feels healthy, and it is absolutely devastating to your blood sugar. Oat milk is made by blending oats with water and enzymes. Those enzymes break the oat starches down into maltose and simple sugars. The process is so effective that a typical cup of oat milk has a glycemic index comparable to that of a soda. When this is frozen into ice cream and combined with added syrups, you are consuming a rapidly digestible liquid carbohydrate. There is very little fat or protein in oat milk to buffer the absorption. This leads to mechanism number 1, the massive glucose spike. An immediate, brutal surge of blood sugar that hits you within 20 minutes of the first bite. I'm not demonizing oats. Whole rolled oats are healthy, but oat milk, especially in ice cream, is metabolically indistinguishable from sugar water. What to do instead? If you are lactose intolerant, choose almond milk or coconut milk bases. These are primarily fat, they have minimal carbohydrates, and will not spike you. The 5 best ice creams for blood sugar. Now, let me give you hope. There are ice creams that you can eat without guilt. The food industry is finally catching up to the science. Here are 5 that are scientifically verified to minimize glucose response. Best ice cream number 1, Rebel ice cream, specifically the Keto series. Rebel is arguably the most diabetic-friendly ice cream on the market. It uses allulose as a sweetener. Allulose is a rare sugar that is not metabolized by the body. It has a glycemic index of 0. It passes through your system without raising insulin at all. Furthermore, Rebel is exceptionally high in fat from cream and contains about 4 to 5 grams of net carbs per pint, not per serving, per pint. The mechanism. The fat slows digestion. The allulose does not spike glucose. The net carbs are low. This is a formula that keeps you in ketosis or, for non-keto diabetics, completely flattens the blood sugar curve. Studies on allulose published in Nutrients Journal show that it actually inhibits certain enzymes that break down starches, meaning it can even blunt the spike from other foods you eat alongside it. Best ice cream number 2, Enlightened, the high-fiber variety. Enlightened is fantastic because they use a combination of erythritol, another zero GI sugar alcohol, and dietary fiber, like chicory root. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that you cannot digest. When you eat fiber with sugar, it creates a viscous gel in your digestive tract. That gel traps the sugar molecules and forces them to be absorbed much slower. The mechanism. Instead of a rapid spike, you get a slow trickle. This prevents the insulin overreaction. You do not get the crash. A study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that adding fiber to a high-sugar meal reduces the glycemic index by an average of 20%. Enlighten uses this to their advantage. Best ice cream number 3, Halo Top, but only specific flavors. Halo Top can be a trap if you buy the flavors that use maltitol, see worst number 1. However, their newer formulations, specifically the Keto series, and flavors sweetened with stevia and erythritol are excellent. You must read the label. Look for total carbohydrates below 10 grams per serving and subtract the fiber and sugar alcohols to find the net carbs. If the net carbs are under 5 grams, it is safe. Best ice cream number 4, Nick's Swedish Ice Cream. Nick's uses a sweetener blend of erythritol, stevia, and sunflower lecithin. They also add a specific type of soluble corn fiber that has been shown to reduce the glycemic load of the dessert. What makes Nick's special is the texture. They use a proprietary aeration process that incorporates tiny air bubbles, allowing you to eat a large volume of ice cream with far less sugar and fat. The net carbs per serving are usually around 3 to 5 grams. It satisfies the craving for a large portion without the spike. Best ice cream number 5, Homemade Avocado/Coconut Cream Ice Cream. This is the one I recommend to all of my patients because you control the ingredients. Take a can of full-fat coconut milk or heavy cream, add half an avocado for creaminess and healthy fat, a splash of vanilla, and your choice of monk fruit or liquid stevia. Freeze and churn. That is it. The mechanism: 0 glucose, 0 insulin, pure fat with some fiber from the avocado. It is so safe that you can eat it as a bedtime snack to stabilize your dawn phenomenon, the morning blood sugar rise. This is not a product you can buy, but it is the gold standard of safety. The summary recap and actionable steps. Let us bring everything together. 4 biological mechanisms, 5 safe choices, 3 dangerous traps. The 3 to avoid: maltitol-based sugar-free ice creams, glucose spike; high-fat premium dairy, delayed late-stage spike; oat milk ice creams, rapid digestion spike. The 5 to enjoy: Rebel, allulose plus 0 spike; Enlightened, fiber plus slow absorption; Halo Top Keto, stevia/erythritol; Nick's, low net carbs; Homemade Avocado Coconut, 0 carbs. Now, let me give you the practical, straightforward steps that require no special equipment, just small, informed decisions. Step 1. Flip the carton. Ignore the no sugar added claim on the front. Look at the back. Check the total carbohydrates. Subtract the dietary fiber and sugar alcohols. That number, the net carbs, must be below 8 grams per serving for diabetics. Step 2. If you see maltitol, dextrose, or corn syrup solid, put it back immediately. Those are coding words for glucose bombs. Step 3. Eat your ice cream as a dessert, immediately after a dinner rich in protein and green vegetables. The protein and fat in your stomach from your meal will significantly blunt the glycemic load of the ice cream, even if it is slightly higher in sugar than we like. Do not eat it as a late-night snack on an empty stomach. Step 4. Limit yourself to a single serving, half a cup. That is the measurement. Use a food scale or measuring cup. I want to be honest with you. When I first started reviewing the literature on sugar alcohols and the glycemic index of frozen desserts, when I saw the data showing that maltitol spikes glucose almost as much as sugar, my first reaction was not fear, it was anger. Anger because this information is not hidden. It is published in peer-reviewed journals. It is available to the FDA. Yet somehow these misleading labels are allowed to sit on shelves, causing millions of diabetics to unknowingly hurt themselves. They are buying diabetic-friendly ice cream that is anything but. Think about someone in your life. Perhaps it is a parent with type 2 diabetes who buys that no sugar added carton every week because they think they are being responsible. Perhaps it is a friend on a keto diet who is demolishing a pint of oat milk ice cream every night, wondering why they are not losing weight. They do not know what you know now, and you can change that in less than 10 seconds simply by sharing this video with them. Not to frighten them, not to lecture them, simply to give them the same information that you now have, because they deserve the opportunity to make informed decisions about their health just as much as you do. The research is real, the potential risks are real, and the solutions are remarkably simple. Share this video because managing diabetes is not only a personal responsibility, it is also something we can help one another achieve. Before we finish, I need to remind you that everything presented in this video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to serve as personal medical advice, a medical diagnosis, or treatment recommendation. Blood sugar responses are highly individualized. The scientific evidence discussed in this presentation reflects findings published in peer-reviewed literature available at the time this video was produced. I strongly encourage you to consult your own physician or a registered dietitian before making significant changes to your diet, particularly if you are on insulin or blood sugar-lowering medications. The mission of this channel has always been to translate complex scientific research into clear, practical, and evidence-based information. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. William.